All right, guys, good morning. So, yesterday, Savas was not working for history. So, you guys are going to be doing both math and history right now. Okay. So, I'm going to have you guys I'm going to have us review math and history today or right now. So, let's start with math. We're going to be doing 15-8. And then right after, we're going to be doing history. Okay, guys. So, you guys are going to have two quizzes that you need to take. If you have not finished your writing, you need to get that finished today. Okay. That is your number one priority. All right, here you go. If you have a phone, put it in the chat. I'm sorry, if you have a phone, someone put phone in the chat. If you have a question, put it in the chat and I will respond back to you.
Which path is longer? How much longer? How is measuring one of these paths different from other paths we have measured? The path is not straight. It has two straight parts that are connected. How can we find the length of one of these paths? Measure each part of the path. Then add the parts together to find the total length. Why do the parts have to be measured separately? The parts have to be measured separately because they are not straight lines. A ruler can only measure straight lines. Line up the ruler with the blue path. One part of the blue path is about 3 centimeters long. The other part of the blue path is about 4 centimeters long. Add 3 plus 4 to find the total length. The blue path is about 7 centimeters long. One part of the red path is about 2 centimeters. The other part is about 6 centimeters. How long is the red path altogether?
So if this part of the path is 2 centimeters and this part of the path is 6 centimeters, how many centimeters is it altogether? Oh, put it in the chat. Thank you. Russell and Eva, you're correct. 8. Thank you, Ava. You're correct.
The red path is about 8 centimeters long. Which of the paths is longer? You can subtract to compare lengths. The blue path is about 7 centimeters long. The red path is about 8 centimeters long. The red path is about 1 centimeter longer than the blue path.
Very good, guys. Now, if I remember correctly, I don't think we're going to be able to do this because you are going to need a ruler to measure this. But let's see. All right, here we go. So what is the total length of the path? So this path is 5 centimeters and this path is 3 centimeters. So altogether, this path is 8 centimeters. Now, we cannot do this one because we all are using different types of rulers. So we're going to skip our reteaching. Let's look at the practice. I believe we're going to have to skip this too, and we're going to go straight into our digital quick check. It's okay, Eva. Yeah, so we are going to need to go to our digital quick check because we don't have our centimeter rulers, but that's okay. Hopefully our digital quick check will show us what we need to do.
What is the total length of the path?
Okay, so we measured this with a ruler and this long line was 4 centimeters. So imagine we're trying to figure out that a little ant crawled and was crawling and crawled this length. So the ant went 4 centimeters this way, and then it had to take a right because it saw some yummy, delicious cookies. So it said, ooh, okay, I'm going to crawl this way now. And then it crawls this way 2 centimeters. How long did it take? How many centimeters did it take for the ant to crawl to the cookie? Very good. 6 centimeters is correct. Moving on. Okay. Now, Peter measures a path that has a total of 12 centimeters. Okay. Jaina measures a path that has 2 parts. Each part measures 7 centimeters. So she measured this part and this part. How much longer is Jana's path than Peter's path? So first we need to find out how long Jana's path was. So if one part was 7 and the other part was 7, you're going to add those two numbers. So what is 7 plus 7? Put it in the chat. Very good. 14 is correct. And Peter's was 12, so we need to subtract. So if Jana's was 14 and Peter's was 12, how many centimeters longer is Jana's? What's 14 minus 12? We're subtracting. 2. Very good. So Jana's path was 2 centimeters longer than Peter's.
What is the total length of the path?
So let's say that you're driving to Disneyland and you go into the car and you have to drive 9 centimeters. And then once you get to the park, you have to walk from the parking lot to Disneyland, and that's 6 centimeters. So if you drove 9 centimeters and you had to walk 6 centimeters to the park, how many centimeters altogether was Disneyland for you? You're going to add that up. Very good, Ava. Very good, Eva. 9 plus 6. Well, we know that 9 plus 1 equals 10. So if we take away one of those ones from 6, that would be 5. So 10 plus 5 would equal 15.
Christy measures a path that has a total length of 18 centimeters. Nolan measures a path that has 2 parts. Each part measures 5 centimeters. How much longer is Christy's path than Nolan's path?
So Nolan's path has 2 parts. 1, 2. This part is 5 centimeters, and this part is 5 centimeters. So how long is Nolan's path altogether, guys? 5 plus 5. Very good, 10. So if Nolan's path is 10 and Christy's path is 18, how much longer is Christy's path? You're going to subtract 18 minus 10. Very good. 8 centimeters. And the last question.
Eric measures a path that is 4 centimeters long. Sally measures a path that is 9 centimeters long. How much shorter is Eric's path than Sally's path?
So now we don't have to add any numbers. All we need to do is subtract. If Sally has a path that's 9 centimeters long and Eric's is 4 centimeters, how much longer is Sally's path? So you're going to be subtracting. It's kind of like saying you have 9 Pokemon cards and your friend has 4 Pokemon cards. How many more Pokemon cards does your friend have? Very good. 5 centimeters. All right. So that's what you guys are going to do. Okay. Now I'm not going to assign it just yet because I want to go over a history. So you're going to do both your math test and your history test all together. So right now let's review your history lesson and then we'll do your math and your social studies test. So what we were doing on Wednesday, because yesterday Savas wasn't working, was we were looking at chapter 5, making a difference, history, lesson 2. And lesson 2 is all about heroic leaders. So let's see what we got here. So the big idea for heroic leaders was I will know about heroes who were leaders. Heroes know how to lead. Leaders are able to get people to follow them. Some leaders use words to spread their ideas. They write papers and give speeches. Others use actions to move or inspire people. They lead marches and fight battles. Some leaders become heroes. These heroes make a difference in the lives of others. Their ideas and actions change the world for the better.
Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States. As a young boy, he was poor. He liked to read books and tell stories. He became a lawyer. He gave many speeches about justice. Justice is a fair way of treating all people. Abraham Lincoln was the leader during a war between the states in our country. This war is called the Civil War. The states were fighting for many reasons. One reason was because some states wanted African Americans to be free, but other states did not. Abraham Lincoln worked hard to keep our country together. He knew it was wrong for African Americans not to be free. He took actions to free them and inspired others to do the same. 2. Reading check. Use evidence from the text. Highlight 2 reasons why Abraham Lincoln is a hero. Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull was a leader of the Sioux Nation. The Sioux Nation is a group of American Indian tribes. They live in the North American Great Plains. Sitting Bull became known for his courage as a young man. At the Battle of Little Bighorn in 1876, he led his people to victory over U.S. troops. The Sioux Nation wanted the right to live freely on their land. But they soon ran out of food and became too hungry to fight. They were forced to live on a reservation, or an area of land set aside for the American Indians. Sitting Bull became a hero. Many people came to meet him. They respected him. They liked the way he worked on behalf of his people for their rights. Golda Meir. Golda Meir was a Jewish Russian woman who grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She was one of Israel's leaders. Israel is in the Middle East. It became a country in 1948. She believed in Israel's independence. But some countries' leaders did not, and they fought in wars against Israel. Golda Meir worked hard for peace and to gain support for Israel.
All right. So today what you guys are going to be doing is you're going to be taking both your math and your history quiz. So let's go ahead and look at that online lesson quiz for heroic leaders. How do heroes use action to inspire people? They write papers, they talk to others, they lead marches, or they give speeches. So how do heroes use action? So action is something you do. So what is something that you do? Like think of an action as something like physical, like think of like exercising. Which of those is similar to like exercising? Okay, I see Ava put C, they lead marches. Thank you, Ava, for participating in the chat. Number 2, Abraham Lincoln wanted what? The Civil War to continue, to keep going. I know, I just want you guys to put it in the chat. The country to be separated. He wanted justice or freedom for African Americans, or he wanted the states to make their own rules. Very good. I see Sierra, Nicholas, Maley, Eva, Russell typing in the chat. I see lots of justice for African Americans, which means freedom. Number 3, why was Sitting Bull a hero? He worked hard to free African Americans. He set up reservations for American Indians. He met with world leaders to work toward peace. He led his people in a fight for the right to own their land. Very good. He led the people. He led his own people. He did not want he did not want reservations. They wanted to keep their land. They wanted to keep their land. They didn't want to just have a little bit. Imagine if someone came into your house and said, oh, this is our house now. And then you said, no, this is my house. And they said, okay, fine, you can live in the bathroom. You'd be like, no, I want my room back. So that's what people did to him. So he was a hero because he led his people in a fight and they fought for the right to have their land. So very good. Margot, Kayla, Eva, Maylee, Ava, Nicholas, Sierra, thank you for participating in the chat. Golda Meir was the leader of what nation? It's not the Sioux Nation. She was not an American Indian. She was Jewish Russian. Israel, the Middle East, or the United States? The Golda Meir was the leader of Israel. Very good. Sierra, Maylee, Margot, Ava, Nicholas, Eva, Russell. Thank you for participating in the chat. Let's see how you, last one. What made Abraham Lincoln a hero? He helped free African Americans. He led a battle against the US troops. He fought in the Battle of Little Bighorn. He helped bring peace in the Middle East. Very good. He helped free African Americans. Thank you to everyone who is participating in the chat. Wow, look at that. Again, you guys get 2 points. So on question number 4, so if you get that right, you can get a score of 120%. So what you guys are going to be doing today is you're taking 2 quizzes. You are taking your chapter 5, lesson 2 quiz in history, which is still in Savvas. And then you are also taking your math 15-8 lesson quick check. We are skipping your reteaching and practice because you would need a ruler to do it. And some of you don't have rulers. So if you want to do it and you have a ruler, then you are more than welcome to do so. So I just posted your assessments. You guys can go ahead and do that. And guess what, guys? We don't have any more Zoom meetings other than ELD students at 12 o'clock. You have no more Zoom meetings for today. So what do you have to do after you take those 2 quizzes? You have to turn in your writing. If you have not turned in your writing test, you need to do that. If you have missing work, you need to turn in your missing work. I have Daniel, Jason, and Maylee, I believe, that have missing work. And then if you have not turned in your Flipgrid, you have to turn in your Flipgrid. So before you go, ask yourself, did I take my math and history test? Did I finish all my missing work? Did I turn in my writing test? Did I turn in my Flipgrid? If you have done everything, then check your weekly schedule. Say, did I complete all of the activities on my weekly schedule? Did you do your reading for 20 minutes? Did you do your art health? If you have done everything, then you will be free to go. Okay, but I should not hear people logging off because you guys should be taking your tests right now. If your test is not showing, then what you need to do is exit out and then relog back in, refresh your screen, and then it should pop up.
Where do we find the test that we're supposed to do?
Refresh your screen. It's in Savvas.
Okay.
Is it not popping up? Okay, let me check.